좋은 아침입니다. It's been a very, very busy day already. We are having our sports day here at USON, and because of this meeting, we accelerated and had the students come into the stadium double time. It was quite impressive. Presidents, vice presidents, friends, and colleagues from all over Korea, it's my honor to welcome you to Woosung University, and specifically today to the Seoul-Bridge International School of Business in which we're meeting. Well, let me say a little bit about the Cincinnati Kid. Of course, that's where I was born several years ago. But specifically in 1950, my father received one of the first exchange teacher Fulbright Awards that was given by the United States. And as a result, I spent 1 year in British boys' school in London. But I returned to Cincinnati in 1951, finishing high school, and went to Ohio State University, where I majored in political science and minored in Russian language, the French woman, and Air Force ROTC. Upon graduation, I spent 28 years in the Air Force, taking part in the Cuban Missile Crisis, the Vietnam War with 50 combat missions, several adventures here in Korea in the 1968 period, for example, the Blue House raid and the USS Pueblo Caesar. And I was sent to the Air Force Academy to get my PhD from the Fletcher School, Tufts and Harvard. I spent 14 years in the operational Air Force and 14 really in policy, intelligence, and education. 7 years at the Air Force Academy, Associate Dean of the National War College, Director of the Institute for National Strategic Studies of National Defense University, and was finally recruited by Georgia Tech in 1989. I spent almost 20 years at Tech as the founding director of the Center for International Strategy, Technology, and Policy, and professor of international affairs, focusing on the internationalization of Georgia Tech, Northeast Asia Studies, non-proliferation. In 2007, I joined Woosung to begin this capstone adventure. Here, we have Seoul-Bridge. Here at Seoul-Bridge, we have a college taught completely in English to students from 51 nations and the faculty from 12 different nations. Our percentage of Korean students is roughly 30%. The percentage of Korean faculty is 20%. All Korean students must take 3 years of Chinese, and all internationals must take 3 years of Korean or Japanese. From the beginning, I think you can see it's a business school with a difference. At Woosung, generally, the total number of foreign faculty is roughly 270 out of approximately 700. It was actually, the foundation of this building was built at the same place where Dong-Ah Pencil Company was. So many of you use Dong-Ah pencils as you grew up. I used Dong-Ah pencils in Cincinnati, Ohio as a 5th grader. I was amazed when I came here and they said the foundation was actually Dong-Ah pencils. And rather than 40 countries, actually 51 countries. And we have over 200 international faculty, running closely, actually 270. We are AACSB accredited. AACSB is basically the Association for the Advancement of Colleges and Schools of Business. And of course, we received the B, for which we are very grateful. And of course, the only A in this region is, of course, Sun Moon University, and we're all jealous. But in 2016, we also received the Creative Korea Grant. In 2017, we also received the ACE again. So it's been very active. Here are the 7 colleges in Woosung University: Railroad Transportation, Digital Media, Health and Human Services, Hotel Management, Seoul-Bridge here, Seoul International, and then Endicott College of International Affairs or International Studies for roughly 13,000. Well, my topic today is expanding educational territory. And this is a subject, of course, which could easily take me beyond my areas of competence. But let me choose the one area I have addressed for the past 29 years. And that, of course, was why I was recruited in 1989 to join Georgia Tech. And that was to assist the president then, Pat Griesheim, In the globalization of what was euphemistically called the North Avenue Trade School, with the realization of Georgia Tech as the Olympic Village for the 1996 Olympics, it took a giant step forward and is generally recognized as a far different university than it was in 1989. Actually, what my mission there was to help internationalize the university and help create the College of Computing and the School of International Affairs. It was not easy because the existing faculty objected to any kind of reform at all. So in 1996, with the Olympics, we received at Georgia Tech 10 new dorms, plus unbelievable athletic facilities, and changed the entire nature of the university. So in a sense, my mission became in search of globalization. So in August 2007, I reported in as co-president here at Wusong with the specific task of standing up a new business college, of course, Silbridge, that would focus on becoming an all-English school that would attract international students as well as Korean. Having a kindergarten as part of the Wusong Foundation complex of schools, the chairman, Chairman Kim, was already quite aware of the coming demographic crisis and was taking measures to prepare for major reduction in overall student population. It really does pay to have a kindergarten in your total system if you're trying to see what's going to happen in the future. Well, our guidelines were clear. We had to produce a school with American-style curriculum to encourage active learning with teamwork, case studies, and grounding in the basis of business education. Besides, it was decided that competence in a native language and English would be augmented by significant training in an additional foreign language. So 3 years of Chinese for all Korean undergraduate students and 3 years of either Korean or Japanese for all internationals. We wanted globalization, but we also wanted to emphasize the Asian context as well. Early on, 3 significant modifications to our program took place. First, our Corporate Advisory Council looked at our curriculum and strongly recommended an enhanced emphasis on soft skills. Thus, more opportunities to practice interaction with colleagues, enhanced presentation skills, and more team competitions with incentives to induce participation were included. Secondly, really as an outgrowth of the presentation skills, a major emphasis on debate was added. I'm dedicated to the use of debate in the classroom, and that comes out of a high school debate I participated in 1952 at the height of the MacArthur era in America. My teacher assigned me the defense of Senator Joseph McCarthy. As a 16-year-old, I held strong beliefs in his value, as my parents were strong supporters. During 2 weeks, I had to prepare the brief. I discovered there was no justification for what he was doing in a democratic society. I lost the debate, but I won in life because I realized I must come to my own conclusion based on independent and verifiable facts. It's that lesson that we try to repeat often at Silbridge. It truly works. Later, we had succeeded so well with debate, we had created some academic Frankensteins. We realized we did not want to win the debate in a win-lose format. We had to draw back from the brink and create an appreciation for win-win situations. And we created a course for winning negotiations so that you would not win the debate and lose the contract. When I talk about academic Frankensteins, really, we had created some people who were superb at debate. And so in the classroom, when the class was discussing an issue, these people actually began to dominate the discussion. And we really had to make an end to it and make it more fair. And so we actually had to change the whole stress negotiations that could win a contract. And finally, one of our early changes to our program was that of Ilyon Sahaki, the adjustment of the school year. With the emphasis that we had been placing on languages, we found that long vacations resulted in lower retention of the language, so we put in bridges to enhance retention. The academic year became 2 15-week semesters with 2 6-week terms as bridges between winter and summer. That not only allowed better language results, but allowed other courses to be taught and an earlier graduation. So 3.5 years for the BBA and 16 months for the MBA rather than 4 years and 24 months. Throughout the years, we have also taken measures to enhance exposure to diversity. In building teams in the classroom, we try to avoid country-pure teams and seek to keep friends apart. It's not easy. As repeated in the dorms, we require all foreign freshmen and women to reside in the dorms, and we have a curfew. That last item is not appreciated by many students, but it is by immigration services. The very height of our celebration of diversity is the holding of National Culture Day, when all students and faculty are invited to dress in national attire and treat each other to the foods of their home countries. We stress the maxim, from diversity comes strength and creativity, probably innovation. In regard to National Culture Day, one of the biggest issues I had was, what do I wear as an American? Jeans, Levi's, cowboy hat and a 6-gun, or what? So since my mom was Scottish, it wasn't hard. So I wear a kilt, and the tartan I use is black watch. The most important step in the mid-years was accreditation by AACSB. This is the Association for the Advancement of Colleges and Schools of Business. Actually, on 9 May 2014, we gained that ranking and became the 14th so in Korea. Now there are 16 so accredited, about the same as in China, but far more than the 4 in Japan. In seeking this international students, this gold standard assures prospective students the credits earned at Solbridge can almost be like currency, and it can be traded among any of the top business colleges of the world. In a sense, this is a true measure of globalization. And also what is very ironic is today we're being visited by the team leader of the AACSB team that will review us in November to see if we can continue membership. Solbridge became our test bed and now boasts of about 1,160 students from 51 countries. The actual numbers are shown on this PPT, and of course the major groupings are Korean with 435, Uzbek with 211, China 201, Kazakhstan 76, Russia 49, Vietnam 48, France 27, Indonesia 14, Bangladesh 12, and all the other 42 countries have one or more students. So usually in the spring semester, that means we have about 65% international students. But that becomes low because that's the semester we take the Korean intake. In the fall, we have no Korean intake, and it usually rises then to about 70% foreign. One thing that we're experiencing that I'm sure you are too is the number of Chinese students. This was much higher, but THAAD and relations between Korea and China and Korea and the United States did cause that number to go down. To expand our educational territory further, another model based on experiences with Solbridge was developed to make it possible for the primary Korean language colleges at Wusong to have greater reach. In addition to the courses already offered to foreign students who speak Korean, here we are talking about 4 colleges: Railroad College, Digital Media, Health and Human Services, and Hotel Management and Culinary Arts. In 2015, we formed Seoul International School through 6 offerings labeled Media and Communications Art, SIMCA, or SIMA, Restaurant and Food Service Management, CRES, Medical Services Management, CMED, Culinary Arts, CCA, Railroad Integrated Systems, CIRA, and Hotel Management, CHOME. These are English-only courses leading to a 4-year degree for students from all over the globe. It was begun, of course, in 2015 and now has over 690 students. It can offer specific degree tracks using only English instruction. These courses become very attractive to those students who wish something besides business that Soulbridge offers. Finally, in the quest to expand our educational territory and seize all aspects of a globalized university, we created a 7th college to offer increased options in liberal arts and social sciences, calling it Endicott College of International Studies. Of course, I am deeply honored that the foundation would name such a college Endicott. It's somewhat of an embarrassment, but it is the kind of embarrassment I can live with. Thank you, Chairman Kim and the foundation. To top this off, 10 minutes from here on West Campus will be found the Endicott Center, which will house elements of both Seoul International and Endicott. Anticipated completion of the new building that has the latest in common room and interactive space is 5 June, or just weeks away. Endicott absorbed the Global Business in Seoul, Asia Korean Language Business School and will offer international management, international technology, international studies, and a free major of honors program for students with over 4.2 GPA. This latter offering will permit students who excel to build their own majors and prepare for the 4th Industrial Revolution with the flexibility that will demand. Current enrollment figures place Endicott at roughly 1,200 students. Of course, all these institutions bring with them the immense demands for human care and understanding. Dorms, extracurricular activities, counseling, and orientations that call on Korean students to be our bridge as tutors in Korean culture, language, and society. Food services now involve pork-free lines, as well as vegetarian requirements, as the number actually from Central Asia, Southeast Asia, and South Asia increases. Becoming, of course, pork-free had a sort of amusing incidents. I would go down to the lunchroom, look at the menu, and there was no pork. But then I would go and see the food being served, and there was ham all over the place. And I'd talk to the chef and say, it's the same thing. And so we had sometimes a rough transition. Well, we've been attempting to counter some claims that arose in the 2017 Davos World Economic Forum that Korea's educational system may be a stumbling block to Korea's future. Paul Evans, who's a professor emeritus of INSEAD, urged President Moon Jae-in to speed up educational reform to globalize the talented young people and ensure gender equality and leadership opportunities for women. He did so in the context of announcing the 2018 Global Talent Competitiveness Index, which INSEAD actually releases. According to that index, Korea has dropped from 29th to 30th. Evans noted that Koreans are poor at collaborative problem solving and often ill-equipped to collaborate with others who are different from themselves. Well, in this area, Soulbridge has reached about 55% level of female students. We give them opportunities throughout the curriculum to succeed, and they do. And with these two acronyms, I want all of our students to be as flexible a blend of GACS and UCA as possible to meet the challenges of the 21st century. Our education territory is constantly expanding as we added a specialization to Soulbridge of entrepreneurship and entered into a partnership with Babson College to give interested students active participation in entrepreneurship opportunities. In fact, our dean, German Rose, was at the moment I was preparing these remarks at their startup camp in Spain. We added a startup lab to the facilities of the new Endicott College building that will be hands-on activity to experience some of the lessons to be learned by an entrepreneur. In addition to the expansions that have taken place within the 3 campuses at Busan, we've reached out to more than 250 universities worldwide, tying Soulbridge to other business schools through 2+2, 1+1, and 3+1 arrangements. At the moment, I'm personally negotiating with 11 American universities to arrange ties with schools offering international studies, to bolster our technical programs at Endicott College. We have arranged to have the distinguished former president of KAIST, Dr. Sa Nampyo, as technology advisor. For Sobridge, we have asked the distinguished scholar Howard Thomas to be our chief strategy officer. And for Wuzong, we have engaged Dr. Deepak Jain, former dean of INSEAD and the Kellogg School of Business, to be our honorary president. It's another kind of diversity. Productivity, ensuring that the collaboration will keep our education territory expanding. We have brought honorary professors from Georgia Tech, Peking University, Beijing Foreign Studies University, and Northwestern University as well. We're trying to use the old saying, a diverse group of reasonably smart people will outperform a team of similar Einsteins. We've assembled a diverse faculty, diverse administrators, and certainly diverse students with the hope that our educational territory will expand. In closing, I would like to come back to something Paul Evans said at Davos. To capitalize on diversity, which we know is key to innovation, collaborative problem solving is vital for the future in a world that must become more inclusive. I would add, globalized. Thus, we're expanding our educational territory in many ways. New courses, new university associations, new mixes in the classroom between contact hours and online time, and new alliances between universities across political boundaries and borders. And, of course, this meeting today across Korea. Actually, this summit epitomizes the drive for strength through diversity and the search for innovative educational ideas. I hope we can prove the Paul Evanses of the world absolutely wrong in forecasts that place Korea in a descending curve toward lower economic competitiveness because of the slowness of educational reform. The same determination, drive, and diligence that worked to produce the miracle of the Han can and is being focused on the issue by you gathered here today. Collectively, we are developing an educational system tailored to meet the VUCA challenges of the fourth industrial revolution. This is our mission today and tomorrow. In succeeding, we will expand our educational territory and produce the higher education system required by Korea for the 21st century and beyond. Thank you for this opportunity to talk about the future.